So you're going to have access there. You're going to see all the things I'm going to tell you right now very quickly. You can find them there too, okay? For any future reference. So Asana, they actually call themselves a work management tool and not just a project management tool. And the reason for that is because you can manage your personal tasks, you can manage the tasks you have for your work with the different teams that you work. You can have conversations inside Asana, so you don't have to, I have to go to an email to ask for Barbara this. No, you can manage everything inside Asana. How you share your documents, how you provide feedback to any request that you have, how you can follow up with next steps for a big project that you're managing, okay? So that's why it's called a work management tool, okay? It helps you plan ahead. Let's say you're going to have a new project that is going to take you around 6 months to do it. It's very easy to do it inside Asana because you see not just the small parts, but you can see, are you familiar with Gantt, timelines? I'm going to show you then that part. It helps you that when it's a big project that takes a lot of time, you get to see the big picture. Okay, I cannot start this phase until I do this one. So you can manage that inside Asana. Okay. The most important things you can do here, you can capture projects and tasks. You can organize your own tasks because you can be a part of multiple projects. And there's a way that you see all the tasks you have in different projects. This is something that I always say, that Asana is the only one that has it. I work with people that they use Trello in the past and then they move everything to Asana, because in Trello, you have to go to each project to see everything you have to do. In Asana, there's a My Task section that I'm going to show you. They recently upgraded. And there you see everything you need to do, and it's easy for you to plan your weeks or your days, depending how is your planning routine. You can track messages you send to someone and you want to follow up with the answers. Or you can track, let's say you are assigning tasks to someone else. You can track that too. And you can communicate, like I mentioned a few seconds ago, with messages. I speak a lot about the communication because I know that a lot of teams, they use Asana, Slack, and Gmail. I'm anti-Slack. I used to use Slack in the past. Once I get to really understand how to use the messages feature, I said, okay, we're actually being very inefficient using Slack and having all these multiple channels and using Asana. Because in Asana, you have it more organized. In Slack, I face that. I get distracted with all the messages and the notifications, and then I wasn't actually doing the work I needed to do in the right time. That's a conversation for another time maybe, but it's once you get to know the messages, it actually helps the work flow very easily and without stress. You can have in your projects and in your tasks documents. Let's say you have your documents on Google Drive. I know you have Share Drive and Google Drive. You can have them linked in a way that is easy to access, okay? Especially when you are working something, I don't know, you are working on a brief and you need to send it to someone for this person to review and approve. It's very easy to do it inside Asana, so you don't have to jump from Asana to Google Drive to share it and then come back to Asana and send a message. It's all there, okay? This part is just to explain, and for this I'm going to go to Asana to show it better. This is how Asana is structured, so you get to familiar with some with these names. So Asana starts with the organization. That is the one you see here at the top, where you see your this is like a test account I have in your workspace, but here you see maybe your picture and it's your name. So this is an organization. And what this allows is to have multiple teams inside Asana. You are a part, you may be a part, and let me know if you are not, then I can probably add you. You are a part of the marketing team. Okay? So in your organization, you can have also a finance team or IT team or HR team. The organization allows that you have all your projects very organized per team. And you can have more team. Initially, every organization creates teams based on how their organizational structure is created. That is very basic: marketing, HR, IT, operations, finance, etc. But then once everyone starts growing in the work, you can create other kind of teams if you feel that there are specific projects that are connected for different teams. Okay? An example, it can be, let's say you are going to work on something with, I don't know, let me think. You need, let's bring IT. You need to create something and it involves people from IT. You can have a team just for that cross-functional work. And it's easy to find. You don't have to look for among all your projects. You can find it very easy there. And you know who is involved on that. That's the reason for the teams. Inside the teams, we find the projects. That is this part that you see here in blue. The projects are the one that allows you to organize every task that anyone needs to do inside the projects. I want to clarify here that not every task needs to be a part of a project. A project is something that it can be to organize a work. For example, you have projects for content creation, for social media, for website. Those tasks are going to be inside this project because there are multiple people involved in the content creation, and you don't want to be asking how something is going, so that then you are going to do the work you need to do. So every task related to content are going to be here. But let's say you have a task that is not related to content creation or website development or social media. It's just a particular task that, let's say I'm asking you to do something not related to any of this project. I don't need to add it into a project. I can create a task, assign it to you. You are going to find it in the My Task section. We're going to go here in a few minutes. And you're going to see it's not attached to any project, and that it's okay. Okay? So in order to understand when a task needs to be in a project, you just need to ask yourself that. Is this a part of something I'm working with the content team? So yes, it needs to be in the content project. Or this is something I'm just doing just this time because this person just asked me to do this, not related to any of the projects we have, so it doesn't need to be in any project. Okay? So that's related to projects. Projects lets you that to organize every task that everyone is working. For example, I'm going to bring the content because it's the one that I have more examples to show, but you have it here organized. What is the content for blogs, for social media, for emails, case studies, etc. So everything is here. Okay. Then you have the task that is the actual action you need to do. When you have a task, there are things that I'm going to show you that every task needs to have, so that it's an action. A task is that it's something you need to do. Okay, and then there are subtasks and comments. So let's go back to Asana. This is the project content that is inside the marketing team. Projects are always going to be inside teams. There's never a project that is outside a team. It's always inside teams. Inside the projects, you have the task. This is, let's talk about the blog. You have the content project, and there's a task related to a blog. And in this case, the name of the task is, it doesn't start with an action, because in order to know the exact content, this person, in this case, let's talk about Barrett, he needs to do is we decided to create it in a different way. So it has always what is the kind of content, in this case blog, and what is the like the subject of the, in this case, the blog they need to write. Okay. Inside this task, there are subtasks. There are the individual actions everyone needs to do. Where does that come from? From here at the top, you have a template task that every time that someone needs to create a content related to blog, you call the template for blog and it's going to bring you all the things you need to create about the blog. If it is collateral, you're going to have all the subtasks. And you can use this, let's say you are going to create a task and it's always the same steps. You can save that inside the project that you're working and then save it as a template. How do you do it? You click here on new. You first create the task. I'm going to move it here. I'm going to do an example. And I'm going to talk about email marketing. That is the part I know more. And then you can replicate it for any, let's say you start working on something and you know it's always the same steps, so you can create this. And I know that for email marketing, I have to write the copy. And then I have to send the copy for a proofread. And then I have to design I don't know, the header and any other images for the email. Then the copy, once I send it for proofread and it's approved, I need to schedule the email inactive campaign, for example. And then I have to check on the metrics. This is just a very quick, something quick. So it's always these steps. Every time I need to do a task related to email marketing, it's always this. And I can go beyond just that, adding the name of every step. And I can say, okay, the write of the copy, I have to do it. So I can assign it to me. It's going to be to me. The proofread, it needs to be done by Barrett, for example, but I'm not going to assign it to him. I'm just going to assign everything to me. So you can assign who is responsible for each of these steps. Right now, I'm going to assume that everything it needs to be done by me, okay? And then here in more actions, I'm going to convert this task to a template. Now, it's creating here. Once it's finished, you see that it disappeared, but it actually didn't disappear. It's saved now as a template. So let's say that next week I have to do the same. Instead of doing that I just did, I'm just going to call the template that I just created, and it's going to create all the steps it's creating right now. It takes like a minute, depending how much things you have. And do you see that it brings everything? I just need to add the due dates. There's a way that you can have due dates based on the final date of the task, but it's done with automation rules. I can show you that maybe after we finalize the call, because that's a more complex part. And I just want to show you first how you can get started with Asana. But you can come ahead here and assign due dates. It's important that the task and the subtask has a due date, because otherwise I'm going to have this task assigned to me and I'm never going to know when I need to deliver the work. So it's always important you say, okay, I need this to be done by tomorrow, okay? And this needs to be sent to proofread no later than next Wednesday. And the designs needs to be also on Wednesday, and because I have to schedule this on Thursday. And I will check the metrics on Friday, for example. Okay, so there always needs to be what is the action? Do you see that there's a difference just in this particular one, that the task has the name of what is it that you're creating, but the subtask is the action that I need to do. I need to write, I need to send, I need to design, I need to schedule the email. It's always an action. That's the best way to know what you need to do. And if you feel that you need to give more details about what you need to do, or if you are assigning the task to someone else, what this person needs to do, you can, do you see that if you place yourself on the subtask, you see here a bubble, you can open it and it works the same as a task. Okay, in the task, you have here a description box where you can use it for that, to explain more information about what is it that needs to be done here. It also works for the subtask. If you click on the bubble, it opens the subtask and you have the description box to write anything that you feel this person needs to know to create the task. If you need to attach a document, my recommendation, if there are several subtasks and there are files related to this main task, attach the document in the main task, not in the subtask, because you want to make sure that everything is very visible. So if it's in the subtask, I have to go and open the subtask to find the document. Rather than having it in the main task, you come here to the clip and you attach the document wherever you have it, on your computer, Dropbox, Google Drive, wherever you find it. It's going, if you have it on Dropbox or these that are on the cloud, it's going to ask you to like log in your account, and then you can pull the document. I'm going to do a very quick example with my computer because I don't have Gmail here. Okay, and you can add, let's say, I'm going to bring this. So if it's from my computer, it's going to take me to a document that it will be downloaded in my computer. If it's in the cloud, and let me show you here quickly. Let me see anyone that I have. If it's in the cloud, it's going to do something like this. Google Drive. And this is the one that I like the most because it's easy for people to access to them. You bring the document, okay? And it takes you to open it directly on the cloud. So you don't need to download anything. It's going to be there, okay? Let's go back here. Any questions so far? I'm talking a lot, but if you have questions, please, you can feel free to stop me. I guess you probably, if you're like me, probably you will go back to the video and do the things. It's the best way. It's the best way. So something also important about tasks, once you finish, it's always important to mark the task as completed, okay? So you don't have the task, you know that you did it, and the person that is working with you also knows that you did it. Something important and a way for you to make sure that, let's say, and I'm going to do this example with you. Let's say I'm working with you on this task that we just created, and I want to make sure you receive the notifications, okay? Always make sure you have them as collaborators. Here at the bottom, if you see that someone is not here and that person needs to be aware of this task, you can always add them. So I can add you. Let's see if you're here. Yeah. So in this way, I know that you are going to receive notifications. And if I complete a subtask, you're going to receive in the inbox a notification that I completed a subtask, or I added a file or anything, okay? Now, we already talked about projects, tasks, subtasks, and how to add files. again, if you have any questions, let me know. Let's talk about the inbox before going to the My Task section. The inbox is your email, but in Asana. That's why I say that it doesn't make sense to manage Slack and Gmail and Asana if you have everything here. In the inbox, you're going to see notifications from projects, tasks that are completed, messages that you receive or that you send and people reply to you. So do you notice that I have here my inbox with like an orange dot? Okay. And you probably have it yourself because I added you as a collaborator. So probably you receive a notification that says Barbara added you as a collaborator, right? Okay. So let's go back to the inbox and I'm going to do it here. So do you see that I was added as a collaborator in a task and I completed? So I receive here, Barbara marked this task as completed. Okay. So there are a few things that you need to also ask yourself about notifications. Do you want to receive notifications for everything that you are a collaborator to? If you don't want to, let's say, no, I don't want to be notified for every subtask that Barbara is completing on a task. So you can come here to the task and you can remove yourself. I don't want to be as a collaborator. If I want to know how she's doing with the task, I will just search about her task. Or if I don't want to know about everything that is happening here, I will just go to the project and see. So you can remove yourself as a collaborator if you feel that you receive a lot of notifications, okay? Let's say that you do want to receive it and you want to, this is something I do with my team, anytime that they complete a task, because I know that people sometimes wants to like, hey, I completed the task, did you see it? What I do, and this is the reason for the likes in Asana, I click on like. So this is a way to, the reason why this was created is a way to say, okay, I saw what you sent me, I saw the comment, or I saw you completed the task, like, thank you, okay? So, and I this is something I talk at the beginning in one of the trainings I created for the team. Like try to use that, because that doesn't, you're not going to sending another task, another message, and the person knows that you receive whatever notification they send you, okay? So I always do that. I do it with my teams and I teach this to all my clients. It's the best way to start creating communications without writing something, just a quick way to say, okay, you completed the task, perfect. It's all okay, great, like I saw it, okay? About the inbox, so ask yourself that, what do you want to receive notifications for? If you, something also here, Asana sends the notifications to your email. So I don't want to, I mean, I already see them here. No, I don't want to see them on my email because I'm not every day on the street. I'm always working here from home or from the office. And I always check on my inbox at least twice a day. So you can, here, you see there are like 3 dots, it says manage notifications. You can go ahead and see it. So if you click there, you can unselect activity updates. If you scroll down, you see activity updates, mentions only, and daily summaries. So by default, I unmark all of that because I don't want to receive emails from Asana if I already have here Asana open. Okay, so you can, it will depend in your case. I unmark them all because I'm anti-notifications. But if you feel, I mean, the daily summary, there's people I know that they use it because they wake up very early and they're checking on their phone while they're taking a coffee. And this is something people tell me, no, it's actually really good because it tells me like a summary of the tasks I have for my day and I can start planning my day better. So it will depend how how you work and if you usually go to your email and see the notifications. So it will depend. It's very personal, that part. Okay. Any questions there? No? Perfect. So another thing about the inbox is that you can archive them. This is different to when you delete emails on your Gmail. You know, you have the options to archive emails. It's always there on the folder that says all emails, but it's not visible. It works the same here. You can archive them. Let's say I want to archive this notification. Archive them all. It's going to be here at the top. It says activity, archive, message I've sent. So it's going to be there. And you can always take them back to your inbox with this arrow, move it to the inbox. Okay, it's back in the activity. But if you don't want to see it, then you can always archive them. So don't worry if you archive something and, oh, I want to check back that again. You can go to your archive and look for that. Okay. I'm going to show you also another way that you can look for things without coming to the inbox. So I have this one, I have them here as a test, but if you feel you have a lot, and this happens to me, this happened to me a while ago, that I have like my inbox full of things. I archive all the emails and I email to the people that were more important to me, and I told them, hey, I lost the email. If you send me something, forward it to me. It was like a nightmare, my email. And after that, I'm like, inbox zero. I don't like them. So I'm going to archive them all, and there's nothing here. This is how I like to see my inbox, like every day. And again, this one is like, I'm just like a test here on your Asana, but in my Asana, I do this. This is like a routine. The first thing I do, I come to Asana, I check my inbox, and then I go to my task that we're going to do it right now. In the My Task section that you see it in the here in this menu, Home and My Task. This is where you're going to find everything that is assigned to you. And they recently updated how this looks. In the past, it was by default in list. It was a list view that, like a checklist, you have all your tasks and you can sort them by due date or per project, whatever. Now, they're bringing the board view we have on projects. They brought that into the My Task. So let me know if you have it, because they've been releasing it in the past few months for all the users. So I just want to make sure you also have this version of the My Task. Perfect. So yes. Hi.
Actually, no.
Sorry, I lost you for a few seconds. Hola. Hi.
Did it come out?
Do you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Barbara?
Yes? Okay, I hear you
I
now.
can hear you. I can hear you, yes.
Okay, no, I lost you for a few seconds. So I was just asking if you get to see the board view in your My Task.
Yes. Yes.
Yes? Perfect. Okay. So this a difference to projects, the board view in the My Task section is also very personal. It will depend how you want to work in a way that you don't feel stressed, that you know what you need to do. And if you have like a lot of work to do, you know in a very quick view what is the priority. So you can change the name of these sections. If you place yourself on top of the sections, you see that you can change the name and you can create new sections, okay? So let me come here because here's where I have like all the features you have. So let's take this that is, do you hear me? Hello? Hi.
Hi, Barbara. I think there's problems with my Wi-Fi,
Okay.
so I'm in my hotspot now. So
Okay.
hopefully
Okay.
working better.
Okay, well, I will go in this part very quickly. Okay? So
Okay.
what I suggest for you is first think, how do you want to see all the work you need to do here inside Asana? And then you are going to come and say, okay, I want to see in here everything I need to do so that I can organize and move, like, let's say, priorities, and then a task for later, that this happens sometime. We have tasks that we just need to wait for someone else, but we want to know what we have there. So it will depend on your case. Again, my recommendation, think how you want to work, that it doesn't stress you, that you know what you need to do, and you can easily understand the priorities, and then you can easily move them around. If you click on top of the task, you see that you can move them to any of these sections. I also, after you think of that, there's a way that you can create automations in your task. If you click on customize, you can create rules. Like, for example, I always want any task that is it has a due date like very soon, I want them moved to priorities. So you can create a rule that says, for example, here, due date is approaching, move it to a certain section. So if you click there, if the due date is approaching, okay, what does this mean to you? Is a task that is due today or is due in a day from now? It will depend on that, let's say a day before. And I want them to be moved to priorities. So what Asana will do automatically, when a task will have a due date, let's say for tomorrow, is going to move it to priorities for me today. So that I know, okay, so I have to deliver this tomorrow. So I have to work on that. That's also something really funny about the due dates. It's not the day that you're actually going to work on the task, it's the day that you need to deliver the work.
Yes.
Yeah. So something also there, and I'm going to bring one of these as an example. Let's say that you have a task that you need to deliver next Wednesday, but the task is really big and it's going to take you 2 days to do it. You can come to the due date and you can add that date range. You can say, no, I need to work on this from Monday to Tuesday, because in order for me to deliver it next Wednesday, let me do it again. Next Wednesday, I need to work on this like at least 2 or 3 days. So you can add that here. This is the start date and this is the due date. So you have here, you see the day range. And in the calendar view, you're going to see the 3 days block with that task. You see it?
Yes, yes.
Yes? Okay. So this is something I really like, how Asana improved this. In the past, it was just list view and calendar view. The board view is really, it's more visual and you get to organize better how you see your tasks. Okay, and again, this is very personal. So my recommendation for you right now, go to Asana. I don't know if you have tasks assigned to you. We can go ahead and see
Yes,
it
I have.
quickly. Okay, so there's a feature here in Asana that is search. This applies for anything you want to look in Asana. So in this case, I'm going to use it for you. I'm going to do a search for you, and I'm going to do an advanced search. For example, assign to you. In any project, I'm not going to filter projects, and I'm going to bring just incomplete tasks. Within the next, let's say, 14 days, the next 2 weeks. Search. No, I don't see them. Maybe they're in another project. Okay, here you have. So my suggestion for you right now to get very familiar with Asana. Go to your task and see and think of that. Okay, I have to deliver this on Monday. And I have to do this, and this. For yourself, you can create your own subtasks if you feel that there's like a lot of things you need to do and you don't want to forget them. It's like your own checklist. You can do it in your task. You can update this and say, okay, I have to deliver it on Monday. It's the due date, but I need to start today. So you can use the day range, okay? And let's say, what else? I don't know, you need a document. I already showed you how you can bring it from your Google Drive from your computer, okay? Let's say you have a question. In this case, Daniela assigned this task for you, but let's say that it's not 100% clear and you have questions. Use the comment section in the task. You tag her at Daniela. I'm not going to post it. And you can write there any questions that you have and then click on comment. When Daniela replies to you, that comment, you're going to see it in the inbox. Okay? So those are like basic features of Asana, really useful. So again, see very clear your due dates. If the description is very clear for you, if you have questions, use the comment section and use the subtask if you feel you need to have like a checklist of everything you need to do. If you feel you need to do it, if you say, no, I know what I need to do and I will not forget it, then that's okay. I use it because I'm very forgettable, so I know I have to write down everything, okay? But it's very, very personal, okay? If someone, let's say that, let's bring this example, Daniela assigned the task for you, but she didn't add the due date. Ask for that. Use the comment and say, hey, Daniela, when do you need this? I don't see a due date. When do you need it so I can plan? That's why we have the comment section there, okay? Any questions so far here?
No.
No? Okay. And is it too much what I'm saying right now?
No. I understand it very well. Yeah.
Perfectly. So I don't know if you saw already, everything that I'm telling you is based on the work you need to do, okay? And let me go and see, okay, let me show you this. Do you see that in this case, your task is a subtask of a main subtask that is here, okay? In case you need to like add the file that you're working, let's say the survey you need to do and you need to share a file, my recommendation, go back to the main task, like I told you a few seconds ago, and then attach it here, not on your subtask, attach it here. So you make sure that even if you complete the subtask, Daniela and everyone that is involved here, they have access to that file, okay? That's like my main recommendation right now. And if you go back, do you see that I went like to the roots? So this is the task that is assigned to you. That is a subtask in a project, okay? And if you click here on the management, you have the main project. And let's say you want to make sure you don't miss any notification. You can come here to like the roots of the project, manage notification, And then you can, in this case, I do say, okay, I want to receive updates from the projects. I want to make sure I don't miss the messages. And I want to make sure I receive notifications anytime I have a new task added in the project. Okay. So do you see how in the inbox, I deactivated all the notifications to my email account, but in the project, I do have the notifications added. There might be projects where you say, no, I don't want to receive for tasks and messages, but I do want to receive like the updates of every task. And again, this varies very individual. It would depend on the person. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
No?
No questions.
Okay. Well, again, it's a lot. You just need to start, and I'm going to send you, I don't want to bore you with all these words
and I
that are
think
here.
I understand it. I honestly think I understand it. It's very intuitive. So
yes.
I'm not so concerned.
Asana also has, I use it a lot, especially when, I work from home like the entire day, but there are cases that when I want to focus on something, I close all my tabs and I only have the tab that I'm working, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything. The only app that I receive notification in my phone is actually Asana. For the rest, I don't receive them. And you can do that too. If you want to, Asana has an app for the phone and it looks the same. Let me see if I can show you. It looks the same. You see the projects and your tasks, okay? And I usually I usually use it for the inbox. So you get to see their notifications and archive them if you feel to, okay? So those things are very individual. Again, if you want to have it, that's great. And if you don't too, that's great too. It's very personal. I'm going to, okay, let me do it right now. So I'm going to share with you this, where you can find, I'm sending you here in the chat. This presentation is from the first training I did for, this was, wow, in January. This is the first training I did for the entire team. I recorded this training, but I sent it over an email, so probably Michelle can send it to you. Here you can find something very similar to what we talked today, but it was longer. So I know she has it, so probably you can ask for it. And again, you have this project that I'm going to send you also the link here in the chat. Okay, where you have more information about Asana, more tips, and just let me make sure you are in the project. No. Okay, so you have here more information about Asana, that technical part, how to create a project. I know you probably, all the projects that the team uses is here because I create everything with the team. I think it was in February. But if you feel you need to create a new project, you can always come here to the plus sign and create it, okay, blank, or use one of the templates from Asana. This is more when you feel there's a big project, like, no, we all need to do like a lot of things. So my recommendation, create a project for that. And then you can find here a lot of information about Asana, okay? So I just added you to the project, share with you the presentation so you can see it. And well, I think right now is that it's just a matter of you going into Asana. If you have any questions, what I wanted to show you about messages and about those questions, you can come to here. Do you see in the top, there's like an orange button? Yeah. You can add a message and you can message me. Do it here to Barbara. And let's say, Barbara, I go very well with Loom videos. When people have questions related to Asana, it's even better to understand the exact questions you have. But you can say, I have a question related to this, this, and this. I was doing this, but it's not working well. So you can do that. You can send me messages, and I'm going to receive it here on my phone. Okay. So you can use that. You can send me a message here inside Asana instead of sending me an email with any question. Let's say you did something, but you are not 100% sure that it was okay. You can take a screenshot or share a Loom video and send it to me. I do it, and I use it a lot with Michelle, and I think there was, I think he's no longer in the team, but he used it too. He sent me a question one time. Hey, I have a question here. Is this correct? Or how can I do it better? Okay. So try Asana. Let me know how it goes. If I don't know if you want to share something right now or ask me anything. Otherwise.
No, I was following along with you on my Asana as you were explaining, and it makes a lot of sense. And I feel that I understand it, and it's actually not a problem. But I'll write to you if I have any questions.
Yeah, and try it out. I always say play around with Asana because it's the best way. Like seeing what works for you. There's a lot. There's like another word with other features that Asana has, but my suggestion, get familiar with the basic ones before going. It's like you need to first learn how to work before run. So it's that then you can understand about there's cases of dependencies. No, I cannot start working on this until this person finalizes their task. There's a way in Asana that is called dependencies that you do it, and I'm just going to show you very quickly. Let's bring your task. Do you see here that it says very clear dependencies? So if you know what is blocking your task, you can call that task. No, I cannot do this until Barbara complete this task. Once I complete it, okay, if I complete this task, you're going to see in your task that the dependency is already clear because I already completed. So then you can start working on your task. See? So again, it's just a matter of getting familiar, see how the work flows for you, how is your work with anyone else on the team too, and when you see those cases that no, I do need to have dependencies here, or my work, someone else's work will depend on mine, so I need to mark those blockers. This task, what is blocking, and it's also there in the dependencies. Okay, so. Okay. I feel that I talk a lot sometimes, and I don't want to. I'm anti overwhelm, anti notifications, and feel stressed because that's the worst way to work. So, yeah. Okay.
No te preocupes. He entendido todo.
Qué bueno. Bien.
Do you hear me?
Yes. Okay.